Hey everyone! Today we're going to be looking at the flags of America's 10 largest cities. Here are the 10 flags. We're going to talk about each of them one by one. But before we do, can you spot the one flag among the 10 that we think is good? In our opinion, 9 of these flags are bad. Most of them are pretty terrible in fact. So let's look at each flag. First up, we have the flag of America's 10th largest city, San Jose, located in the state of California. It was adopted in 1984 and consists of a horizontal triband of orange, white and blue, with the middle white stripe being larger than the other two. The flag is charged with the city seal, and this is the first of many seals you'll be seeing. Seals shouldn't be used on flags because they are usually complicated designs and almost always contain writing. Flags should be simple and easy to replicate, and the design itself should form good symbolism without the need for lettering. San Jose's seal alludes to the agriculture in the surrounding area with the wheat and grapes, which is good symbolism. However, creating symbolism by use of a detailed seal is not good flag design. It's believed that golden orange and blue stripes represent California because these are the official state colors. The flag looks similar to a charged version of the original flag of the Netherlands, and it also looks kind of like the old flag of South Africa. Removing the seal would result in a much better flag design, but then it would look too similar to the old Dutch flag and other plain horizontal tricolours. In our opinion, a simple but distinctive charge placed in the centre would result in a good flag. In 2016, there was a campaign to redesign the flag, but those efforts failed, though at least it means that there are people of San Jose who acknowledge the fact that this is a bad flag. Next is the flag of Dallas, Texas. Adopted in 1967, it's a horizontal bicolor of red and blue, which are separated by a thin white stripe. The flag is charged with a large 5-pointed white star, which itself is charged with the city seal. And just like the previous flag, it's the seal that makes this a bad design. Take the seal away, and we've actually got a really good flag. And it's not a coincidence that this flag uses many of the same features as the state flag of Texas. And Dallas is not the only city in Texas that borrows heavily from the state flag, as you'll find out later in this video. Next we have the flag of San Diego, California. This flag was adopted in 1934, and once more we have a city seal. But San Diego went one step further than the previous flags and decided to put extra lettering underneath using a really ugly font. 1542 was the year in which Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo first entered San Diego Bay and claimed the area for the Spanish Empire. The use of the 3 vertical bars is reminiscent of the colours of the flag of Spain, which flew over Cabrillo's ship. The seal is extremely complicated and is jam-packed with various images pertaining to the city, so good symbolism, but expressed through bad flag design. Taking away the seal, we have quite an interesting flag. While the flag world is saturated with plain vertical tricolours, we find the colours pretty compelling. There is poor contrast between the white and yellow, yet somehow these colours combined with the dark red actually kind of work in our view. And there is also the opportunity to add a simple unique charge, probably on the white stripe as a direct replacement for the seal. Next we have the flag of San Antonio, Texas, and as promised we have another Texan city which borrows heavily from the state flag. The flag was adopted in 1992. This is very similar to the flag of Dallas, except it's a vertical bicolor of blue and red rather than horizontal, and we don't have a white fimbriation to separate them. This is the first flag on the list that doesn't have a city seal or writing. Unfortunately, what it has instead is a really ugly depiction of the famous Alamo, the city's most important historical landmark. The Alamo design reminds us of the depiction of Angkor Wat on the national flag of Cambodia, another design that looks pretty awful in our view. Taking away the Alamo, and we have a really cool design that works really well. Perhaps you could charge the star with something else, maybe even a prettier version of the Alamo. This is the flag of the 53rd annual meeting of the North American Vexillological Association, which took place in San Antonio in 2019. As is tradition, a flag is created for each annual event based on the host city. This flag has a silhouette of the Alamo and is much more elegant than the depiction on the current flag of San Antonio. Next up is the flag of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was adopted in 1874, and unfortunately we're back to using city seals, though this flag omits the circular writing of the city seal. Still, the main part of the seal is very complicated, as you can see with its use in the flag, and writing is still used. The blue and yellow triband commemorates the original colonization of Philadelphia by Swedish settlers. The seal is packed with symbolism, but of course the complicated design makes this yet another bad flag overall. Taking away the seal, we have a nice plain triband of blue and yellow. The national flag of Barbados has the same triband with a distinctive charge, so perhaps the flag of Philadelphia could replace the seal with a simple distinctive charge of its own. It's worth noting that the plain version of the flag is already sometimes flown in the city, so perhaps the city might decide to make the plain triband the official flag someday. Next we have the flag of Phoenix, Arizona. This is perhaps the most interesting flag so far. It was adopted in 1990 and has a maroon field charged with a white stylized depiction of a phoenix, a bird originating from Greek mythology, which gave the city its name. The reason the field is maroon is because phoenix is the Greek word for purple. So what's our opinion? We like the maroon field because it's different from the more common colours used on flags, and it also has very good contrast with the white charge. But we're not fans of the charge. Depicting simplified versions of animals is a hard task, and for us, we don't think this design works for a city flag. It looks more like a logo for a company. While the curves are elegant, the whole design is pretty close to a plain circle, and viewing this flag from a distance, the phoenix looks more like a circular blob. Also, even though it's a simplified depiction, it's still a difficult design to replicate, so while we appreciate the artwork of the phoenix, overall we think this is a bad flag. Next up is Houston, Texas. This is our third and final Texas city, and once more we have a big old white star, and like the Dallas flag, the star is charged with the city seal. This flag was adopted in 1915, and unlike Dallas and San Antonio, Houston has a plain blue field rather than blue and red. We really like the city seal, it's probably the nicest seal on the list. But this video and this whole channel is all about flags, not city seals. And in case you don't already know, putting complicated seals on a flag is a really bad idea, even if the seal is pretty like this one. So what do we get if we remove the seal in this one? Well, we basically get the national flag of Somalia, and we also get the Bonnie Blue flag, a historical flag associated with the Republic of Texas, the Republic of West Florida, as well as the Confederate States of America. So because of these similarities, simply removing the seal wouldn't work for this flag, but using the white star and blue as a base and adding some extra features could certainly result in a simple, unique design. Next we have the flag of Chicago, Illinois. And what do we have here? There is no city seal, no writing, and no ugly depictions of anything. Instead, we have a simple design consisting of a white field, 2 light blue horizontal stripes, in between which are 4 red 6-pointed stars placed side by side. If you picked this flag among the 10 flags at the beginning of the video as the one good flag, then pat yourself on the back. You got the right one. Here is a really cool infographic we found online showing all the important information about the flag. As you can see, the flag has a huge amount of relevant symbolism despite the simple design. This flag is proof that you can have a lot of symbolism with a simple design, and it's not necessary to use complicated seals. This flag is a triumph among all the large US city flags, and it's no surprise that this flag is much loved among the residents of Chicago and can be seen flying throughout the whole city. As good as this flag is, we do have one minor issue. That is, we think the blue is a little too light in shade. We think the flag would look better with a darker blue, something like this. This shade of blue is still quite light, but this has better contrast with the white field. Despite this one issue, overall we think this is a great flag and is by far the best flag among the 10 largest US cities. Next is the flag of Los Angeles, California, and unfortunately we're back to the use of a seal. The flag was designed in 1931, and unlike the flag of Chicago, this flag is not well loved by the people, and many people who live in LA don't even know this flag even exists. And that right there is proof that this flag is a failure. But this flag has great potential. The serrated design is really unique, and it's also fairly simple. It also has good symbolism. The seal has tons of symbolism like many other seals we've seen, but the green, yellow and red also have really good symbolism. Green represents olive trees, the gold and yellow represents the orange groves, and red represents vineyards. They also symbolize the history of the city, with yellow and red representing Spain, the country which first settled in the city, and green and red representing Mexico, who took over when New Spain achieved independence. So what do we get if we remove the seal? We have a flag that has quite an African look to it. Here is the flag of Mali, which uses the same 3 colours in the same order. And there are a number of other flags of African nations that look similar because they use the same colours with similar designs, but none of these flags have the serrated design that this one does. So is the serrated design without the seal distinctive enough? We're not sure, but it's definitely a big improvement on the current flag, and like other flags, there's the option of adding a unique charge. As far as the serrated design is concerned, we didn't discover the reason for its use, but we really like the design and it certainly makes the flag stand out, even if the colours resemble those of African flags. And finally, we have the flag of America's largest city, New York, New York. Adopted in 1915 and modified in 1977, this is the 7th flag in the list that uses the seal of the city. The flag's colours are derived from the old Dutch flag, as the city was founded by Dutch settlers and called the city New Amsterdam. As we can see, they decided to use vertical stripes instead of horizontal. So as ever, we're going to remove the seal and see what we get. So would this plain tricolour of blue, white and orange work? Being vertical, it's distinctive from the old Dutch flag, and it doesn't look too similar to other well-known flags, though it does remind us a bit of the flag of France. So we think this flag could actually work. However, we don't think it would inspire any sort of pride in present-day New Yorkers, the vast majority of whom don't have Dutch heritage. So once again, perhaps a unique charge at the centre might do wonders for this flag. Or perhaps New York should design a brand new flag from scratch. Either way, the current flag is a really bad one, and the seal is probably our least favourite of all the ones we've seen in this list. So those were the 10 flags. Chicago's flag stands out among all of them and is by far the best. We think the second best flag is Phoenix. As for the third best, we would have to give it to San Antonio, just because it doesn't have a seal. And of the 7 flags that have a seal, our favourite is Philadelphia. And the flag we think is the worst of the lot, well, we have to go for New York. The seal is really ugly, and for the largest city in the US and one of the most famous cities in the world, we think New York City deserves a lot better. So what do you guys think? Do you agree that Chicago has the best flag among the 10 largest US cities? What ideas do you have for improvements for all of these flags? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And as ever, be sure to subscribe and check out our other videos. Until next time, bye for now.